Fans, welcome back to yet another episode of The Last Shot NBA show right here on Little Birdie TV. As always, brought to you by our great mates over there at topsport.com.au. We've got a lot of NBA stuff to get through today. We're going to bring on our resident betting expert, Andrew Parkinson, on a little bit later. But of course, we're going to welcome old mate Benyam Kidane first up. BK, how you doing, my man?
What's good, my man? I'm doing well. How you living?
I'm living good, my man. I'm living good. My New York Knicks have started the season 3-1, BK. Before we get into a lot of the topics we're going to cover today, I just got to show you this, man. We're going to chuck up a tweet real quick right here on the screen. Have a look at this, BK. My mate, Jalen Brunson. Look at that. First 4 games this season, first 4 games last season. Look at that improvement right across the board there, BK. And all I'm going to say is, I know we're 4 games into the season, but the Knicks are winning the chip, and this is money well spent.
Hey, take that to the bank. Jalen Brunson's been great for the New York Knicks.
Listen,
I'm with it.
Listen, like I said, it's money well spent for the time being. My tone could change by the time next week rolls around, BK, because
such is life as a Knicks fan.
Such is life as a Knicks fan. All right, BK, let's get into it. We're going to start off with some Aussie news here. Old mate Josh Giddey. He missed Wednesday's win over the Pelicans with a sprained ankle. He started the season very well, BK, hasn't he? Notched a double-double in his first 2 games prior to that game against the Pelicans, but injured his ankle in Monday's loss to the Wolves. Yesterday, he practiced without an ankle brace, so it's positive. We've got some footage here of Giddey at practice shooting around. No ankle brace there. Obviously, we can't tell a lot from that, 8-second clip right there, but there shouldn't be too much cause for concern here, BK, should there?
Yeah, from what I've seen, it doesn't seem to be too serious of an injury. I think for the Thunder, an element of caution is just being exerted. And I think, look, we're probably going to see this a lot during the season for the Thunder. We've already seen Shea, sit. I mean, Giddey, obviously, it's going to be a big year for him, but this isn't a year that the Thunder are trying to win a stack of games. They've still got their eyes on Benyam.
BK, I have a counterpoint of which of the last 5 years have the Thunder been trying to win a stack of games?
The illusion of trying to win games. That's all you can ask for.
I hear you. That's true, though. But, you did mention SGA. I think he might be playing today. We'll get into that with Parky a little bit later. But what have you seen from the Thunder, though, this so far this season?
Look, the Thunder, they have a lot of young, talented players, but it's just about finding the roles for these guys. I really like Jalen Williams and what he's been able to do. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a borderline all-star. This guy, I kind of feel bad that Shai's on a team that doesn't really have the ambition that maybe he has, but he's in it for the long haul. He signed that 5-year extension. And for Giddey himself, I think it's just the leadership for him. I think that's the big thing I'm looking for this season. And we've already seen that. He's only 20 years old, but he's already one of the main men on that team.
BK, do you think that if Chet Holmgren, their number 2 pick from this past draft, doesn't go down with an injury and forced to miss the whole season, do you think the Thunder would have sort of changed their approach a little bit this year in terms of trying to win games? Because if you've got a healthy Chet, and obviously we only saw him in a limited amount of minutes during Summer League, you got a healthy Chet, obviously SGA, Giddey, again, seems to have taken a bit of a leap again in year 2. Do you think they probably would have changed the approach and actually maybe tried to challenge for a playoff position?
I think so. I think the Chet Holmgren injury really changed everything for the Thunder, and just in terms of their expectations, it kind of sucked the air out of the organization with him going down before the season started. But this is a team that I think, in the long term, and that long term could be in the next 2-3 years, could be really, really good. Yeah.
They've definitely got some nice pieces. Obviously, if everyone comes back healthy, and look, if they land that number 1 pick, if they can partner Wembanyama with Holmgren and Giddey and SGA, oh Jesus,
just the gate,
just the gate. All right, BK. Let's talk a little bit about a team that I know you were actually quite a bit of a fan of last year, especially one of their players in Anthony Simons, and that's the Portland Trail Blazers, BK. They took their first L of the season yesterday against the Miami Heat, missed a chance to start the season 5-0 for the first time since the 92-93 season. So that was quite a while ago. They dropped to 4-1. The only undefeated team left now is the Milwaukee Bucks. Yesterday, there was also a slight injury concern for the Blazers. Damian Lillard exited the game with a strained right calf. We've got the vision here of the play that he seemed to do that on. Pulled up a little bit tenderly right there. Now, they asked him about it after the game. Lillard did say he played it down. He said, look, it wasn't nothing that I was overly concerned with. I just know that it wouldn't make sense to try and push through it in the 5th game of the season, which, I mean, it does make sense. There's 77 more games to go. They've had a couple of good wins so far this season. The Blazers over the Suns. They've had win over the Nuggets, both championship contenders. Are the Blazers for real, BK, or is it fool's gold from what we're seeing so far?
Yeah, I don't know if they're for real. They're for maybe. You know, I like the young guys they have on this squad. Anthony Simons, obviously, they rewarded him with that long-term extension. But Shaedon Sharpe, the rookie, this is the guy that it feels like could change everything, because for a guy that didn't play any college ball, is effectively coming from high school to the NBA with just a year off in between. And he looks incredible. The bounce he has, the athleticism he has, the length he has. I really like that pick from them at number 7. It looked like a bit of a risk on draft night, but in terms of a long-term project that's already kind of reaping benefits now, you've got guys like Gary Payton, you've got Jeremy Grant that's come across. Like, they have some guys on this team, and they're playing at a very fast pace this season. Chauncey Billups has done a terrific job with this team, and as long as you've got Damian Lillard on your squad, like you have a chance to be good. How good? I don't know. I think they'll probably come crashing back down to reality. I thought it would maybe come a little bit later in the season, but it might come in this 2 weeks that the Dame's out.
Yeah, look, I'm with you. I'm a maybe on them as well. But yeah, also shout out to Shaedon Sharpe. I mean, for a rookie, come in here. He's averaging 16.1 points a game, I think, so far in the first few games of the season. He is looking fantastic. They've added some great pieces. But listen, I just want to talk about Anthony Simons for a minute, because you were high on him last year. I remember there was so many episodes last year. You kept talking about Anthony Simons. He has looked absolutely phenomenal. It looks like he's taken another leap this year.
Yeah, it looked like last season that he was coming. He was about to kind of make that leap, and I think this season, like, he's very much arrived, and he really looks like the number 2. I mean, we thought Jeremy Grant was maybe going to be that guy for the Blazers, but you know, out on the wing, the Blazers have always been a guard-heavy squad, and when you have another scorer, especially from the perimeter alongside Damian Lillard, like, I thought when CJ McCollum left, you know, that was kind of it. But I think the Blazers knew, like, they had a turbo-sized version of CJ in Anthony.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I also agree with you. I think they are going to come back down to earth. I kind of see him maybe sort of hovering around that play-in seed, you know, towards the end of the season. But look, that'll be on improvement over the last couple of seasons for the Blazers. All right, BK, we're going to talk about another rookie now. Now, this guy here, man, Paolo Banchero for the Orlando Magic. I was in a group chat, BK, NBA group chat the other day with a few friends, and Banchero came up in conversation. And one of the guys was kind of saying that, he goes, I watch him play and he still seems very raw. Like, he goes, he still needs a little bit of work. And I just wrote back, what player are you watching? Because Paolo Banchero does not look like a rookie. Like, this man is playing with some absolute incredible poise. He looks like a veteran out there. He's putting up some numbers. Look at this tweet right here yesterday. Paolo Banchero joins Shaq and Penny as the only Magic rookies to score 20 points in 5 straight games. So far in his first 5 games, he's averaging 24 points on 45% shooting, 7.6 rebounds, and 3.2 assists. Absolutely incredible start by the young rook so far. BK, who was right in my group chat, me or the other guy?
If he's too raw, then everybody else is cool. Like, this guy's ready. When we start putting up, like, the historical context of, you know, matching LeBron records, Shaq and Penny, I think he's the first player to have 120 points, 35 rebounds, and 15 assists since Dominique Wilkins did it in the early 80s. And, you know, he's putting himself in some elite company. And the funny thing is, like, after 5 games, the Magic are still winless and Paolo's killing it. This is the ideal scenario for the Orlando Magic, because It's crazy to think that we were having genuine debates about who should be the number one pick just a couple of months ago. And I've seen enough. Like, there's no doubt they got this right.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Banchero is proving why he should have been the number one pick. And look, he's been so good that like I joked about last week, I've voluntarily watched like 3 Orlando games this season, which is the most I've seen Orlando play in about 7 years.
I was about to say, is that a record for the decade?
Yeah, it's getting close, BK. But, we've touched on the odds for Rookie of the Year throughout the season. He was the overwhelming favorite, barring any injury. I mean, just hand him this award.
Look, he's going to play. He's going to play a lot, and he's going to. It's not just he's going to score a lot of points. This guy's doing everything. The versatility he has as a modern NBA forward, Swiss Army knife, whatever you want to call him. Like, this is the guy that you can build an entire franchise around. And I'm not saying that as an overreaction or a hyperbole. Yeah. Like, you just don't see this very often.
No, absolutely, BK. I am right with you. Like I said, he's been super fun to watch, and I'm sure we're going to see many more highlights and a few more records broken by the young Rook throughout the season. All right, my man, we're going to let you go. We're going to catch you again on Monday morning. Appreciate you joining us.
Always a pleasure, my man.
All right, time to bring on our resident betting expert, the Magic Man himself, 2-time NBL champion, Andrew Parkinson. Parky, good morning.
Good morning, Nick. And what a shame we don't have any Lakers games to bet on today. Because you just bet against the Lakers and you're going to be making some money.
That's going to be my mantra for the season.
Yeah, just take the Lakers. I think, that under/over 43.5 games that they were meant to win this season. I think the people that took the under in that are pretty happy.
Oh, they're going to be laughing all the way to the bank.
So, but yeah, we had a mixed day on Wednesday with our tips. We both went with the Mavericks to cover that sort of 5.5 spread against the Pelicans, and without Zion, and the Pelicans won that one outright. So that was a bit of a funny one, as well as the OKC one. We thought SGA was questionable, and we weren't sure if he was going to play. And of course, he played. And even though Josh Giddey was out, and OKC beat the Clippers in that game, but you got the under as well. But we also got the Suns, which they won by about 29 points, so that was a good bet. And we also got the over in that game. So so you went 3-3, Nick, to get your season tally to 8-8, and I went 2-1 to go 8-4. So we can both look to improve on that today.
I'm sure we will. And there's 4 games on the schedule, Parky, that we're going to take a look at today. We're going to start off with the Dallas Mavericks and the Brooklyn Nets. The Mavericks entering this game as the favorites at $1.69. Brooklyn Nets, $2.23. The line's at 2.5, and the total there is 225.5. Live on NBA League Pass. Parky, who are you going with in this game?
I'm going with the Mavs to cover that spread of 2.5. I actually got them at 1.5 a bit earlier. So the money's been coming for the Mavs, and I think rightly so. Just a stat for you here. The Nets in their last, what have they done? They've lost 10 of their last 11 games on the second leg of a back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a good stat to go with the Mavs. It was only a small spread, or it's 2.5. It was 1.5 yesterday, as I mentioned. So I think that's a good play on that game. The Mavs to cover that small spread in Brooklyn.
You know what, Parky? I might go out on a limb here, I guess, in a sense. I'm going Mavericks by 11.
Yep.
And I'm going to take the under on this one here.
Yep, under 225.5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that's not a bad one. That line has been jumping around. There's been money coming for the under. That was initially 228.5, and now you can get the 225.5. So there's a lot of people thinking like you, Nick, in that one.
All right, we'll see how that one pans out. Next game we're going to take a look at, Parky. We've got the LA Clippers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Clippers, favorites, $1.40. Oklahoma City Thunder, $3.10. Line, 6.5. Total, 218 flat. This one's going to be live on ESPN today. What are we seeing from this one, Parky? We know SGA is playing, but how do you think that affects the outcome?
Yeah, look, I'd probably lean towards the Clippers in this one, but I'm not that after taking them the other day and they lost to OKC. I'm a little bit shy on those guys, but look, you'd think the Clippers would cover that 6.5 spread. But what I like in this game, because I think the Clippers are going to hold OKC down, and the last 6 games for the Clippers have gone under the total. So I'm going to go with the under 218 flat in this game. The money has been coming for the over though, so that was initially 215.5. So I'm kind of going against the popular trend, the way the line's moving, but yeah, I just think I think this game's going to go under the margin.
Yeah, me too, Parky. I'm going the under on this one here. Clippers win it. Clippers win it by 11.
Okay, so you're happy for them to cover that spread?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't see the Thunder winning this one at all today. But
yeah,
I've been wrong before.
Right. I think you're right. We'll just see if they can, if they can cover that spread. It's only 6.5, so.
See how that one goes. Next game we're going to take a look at. We've got the Miami Heat and the Golden State Warriors. Warriors, $1.43 favorite. Miami Heat have been a little bit up and down this season so far. Still early days. They're at $2.93. Lines at -6. Total 227. Totals 227. This one's live on NBA League Pass. Parky, thoughts on this one?
Yes, well, the Warriors at home are pretty tough to guard and to beat. Yes, but I'm going to stay away from that spread. The money has come for the Heat. They had a good win against Portland yesterday, but they are on the second game of the back-to-back. So, yeah, I'd probably lean towards the Warriors in this. But once again, in this game, I do like the under 227. Just as a stat for you, all 5 Heat games in this NBL season have got nowhere near the 227.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there hasn't been 227 points scored in a Heat game this season, and I really think that will continue today, even though they're playing the high-scoring Warriors. So my pick in this game is the under 227.
Yeah, again, I'm with you, Parky. Miami's offense has really sort of struggled this season. Like we mentioned the other day, I think that 90 points total that they had in there, not their last game, but the game before that, was their lowest of the season so far. So I'm also taking the under. I think the Warriors can put the numbers up on the board. I just don't think that the Heat are going to put up enough to get the over on that one there. But I do think the Warriors are going to win a close one at home.
Okay, so you don't have an official pick on the line, on the spread there? No, you're just going to go with the under?
Yeah, I think it's take the under, but I think it'll be close. But
I'm with you. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. All right, last game we're going to take a look at, and then we're going to get out of here. We've got the Memphis Grizzlies and the Sacramento Kings. Parky, as we've mentioned this season, you're higher on the Kings than I am, and the Grizzlies are favorites in this game here. $1.65, Kings $2.29, lines at 2.5. That's a pretty big over-under right there, 236. So I don't know if we're going to get that, but we'll talk about that in a second. This one's on NBA League Pass as well. Parky, 236. Is that number too high for these two teams?
That did jump out at me when I first saw it. That did jump out at me, and then I did some research and I looked at both these teams, and they're both very high scoring teams. So I'm actually, as tempted as I am to go on that big under, I'm actually going to go with the Grizzlies to cover the spread, the 2.5. Even though I am high on the Kings, I'm also a huge rap for the Grizzlies. So I think the way they're playing, the way Jar's doing his thing, and the Kings don't play a lot of defense. So yeah, I'm still comfortable with the Kings, but I think I'm going to bet against them in this game, and I like the Grizzlies -2.5. Yeah,
look, I'm staying away from that total because I don't know what to do with the Kings. Like, I just don't think they're that good, but they're also putting up some numbers there, but I'm going to stay away from that one. I think the Grizzlies win this one here, and it'll be a double-digit win.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that spread, that was a bit more enticing for me than the under, but that 236, yeah, there's not too many games you're going to see in the NBA that are going to be up, around that 235 to 240 mark. So, yeah, that was a bit tempting, but I think the bookies have got that right. These two teams, this could end up, 120 to, in the 120s each sort of thing. So around that mark. So, yeah, we'll stay away from the under for now, but the Grizzlies, I think, are good things in this one. Yeah,
good money for the Grizzlies in this one here. All right, Parky, that's going to do it from us today. You'll be back Monday morning. Obviously, we're going to recap how we did with our picks today, and then obviously take a look at some games from that day as well. So we'll see you on Monday, Parky. Cheers.
We'll see you Monday, and who knows, the Lakers might get their first victory, and
might wishful thinking.
We'll see how they go. That's Yeah, there's a lot going on in Lakerland.
Yeah, the turmoil never ends. All right, guys, that's been another episode of the Last Shot NBA show right here on Little Birdie TV, brought to you by our great mates at topsport.com.au. We'll see you guys Monday morning.
20 minutes.
All right.
Record.
That's it. We've had like